r/ask Reddit. What is your I wish I had started doing that earlier in my life? Not caring what people thought of me as much. I think this comes with age. The older I get, the less I care. I'm 42 now. By the time I'm 60 I'm pretty sure I'll actually give zero ducks. You don't have to wait that long. Your give a shit factor will quickly decline after 50. Source: im55. Getting reasonable amounts of sleep. No. 4 hours has to be enough, right? Looks at clock duck. Sure, you've gotten by plenty of times on 4 hours. You just need to think about your day and try to take a tactical approach. Whoops, it's only 3 hours now. Eating healthy and exercising. I'm 40 and have all sorts of issues due to an extremely poor diet as a child. Don't be like me. Start now. It's easier than you realize. First month or two are really hard, and when you want to give up thinking it won't ever get easier, but it does. That's what it feels like when your body is rebalancing your insulin sensitivity. Most people on the standard American diet, sad, have terribly high levels of insulin resistance. It takes a while for your body to adjust. Yay homeostasis. If you can manage it, heavy exercise will help speed up the adjustment process. But then you have to deal with the desire to eat more from exercising than you actually burnt off from exercising. Investing into 401k IRA. Yeah, the Irish Republican Army could have used your help a few decades ago. He really missed his window. Hit the gym. People said it would help my mood and I hate that they were right. It's not a panacea, but I feel better for doing it. I think bullying in pay meant physical exertion had a very strong negative association which didn't help. Turns out in your average gym no one gives a shit as long as you aren't being a nuisance. Edit. For anyone else in my position, know that runner's high is bullshit. It's a small fraction of the population that gets it, but they tend to be evangelical about exercise. You aren't going to get a great rush. You're just going to be a bit sore and out of breath. That's okay. I've been running for a while now. When I went to the doctor the last time, he was asking me about it. One of his questions was, how long does it take you to get your second wind? There is no second wind. Beach. There is only a slow descent into hell. Saving money. I grew up pretty poor, and my family had a spend it while we got it mentality. Never learned how to properly budget and just starting to work on it in my mid-20s. Edit. Just want to say thanks to everyone who has offered advice suggestions on how to improve. I'm sort of in the opposite side. I grew up poor, so I don't do anything for fun or go places because I am petrified something will happen at some point that will cost me a lot of money, so I don't want to spend it on anything. Then the feeling of guilt when you buy anything that you don't really need. Appreciating my granny's love for me when she was alive. I miss you. My first grandparent died when I was 8. I never really got much of a chance to know them. It's the other 3 that all passed away in a short time after I graduated from college that hurts the most. This comment is gonna make a few grannies happier. Drinking water instead of pop. A gallon a day keeps the kidney stones away. Coffee is close enough, right? Right? Wearing earplugs at loud concert shows and during band practices. I have a slight ringing in my ears when it's quiet that I think could be the start of tinnitus. Just got fitted for custom musicians earplugs yesterday, so hopefully it doesn't get any worse. Edit. My first Reddit gold. Thank you. Hi mom. Hearing loss is permanent. I used to get made fun of for wearing earplugs when I was a kid, but I love singing and good hearing is very important to me. I lucked out that my stubbornness saved me on that one. Me too. My friends make fun of me for having sensitive ears. I remind the ones who bring it up more that they have hearing loss. We're in our early to mid 20s. I've been wearing earplugs to concerts since I was 18, maybe 19. Keep wearing them. Being honest with the people around me and not lying to myself about who I am. Edit. Thank you kind strangers for the gold and silvers. Saya aim. I've started doing this lately over the last few months or so, and even though it can be hard or even scary at times, it's made me feel so much more wholesome and happy about being myself and living my life. 10 out of 10 would recommend to anyone. Ditto. I had this pretty profound "I've been lying to myself" realization last year, and even though it was tough to deal with and sometimes painful to overcome the way I used to process information in my own mind, it was easily the best thing that could have happened to my self-awareness. It helped my friendships and relationships in general because of that. 2. I was no longer lying to myself, which meant I wasn't lying to them either. Tangentially, it didn't feel like I was lying to anyone else in my life before, but that was only because I'd convinced myself that I wasn't. Now I have a much better perspective knowing that I'm living honestly, and I never realized how important that was before. Edit. Grammar. Brushing my teeth. No one made me when I was too little to care, and by the time I wanted to do it for me the damage was done. I am pretty sure every dentist takes it as a challenge. I ask my dentist friends why they like their job, and they say that it's really awesome seeing their patients go from completely damaged teeth to celebrity-like teeth. For the low price of your firstborn child and 10% of every paycheck you earn for the next 10 years. In the US anyway. I turned 30 in October, and boy do I have a long list of these. All the "I'll fix it when I'm older" things that, well, I am doing now because I'm older. Quitting smoking. 15 years of it. Done since August. Working out. I look better and feel better. Run cardio. See the first point for why I didn't. Just doing the ducking dishes. Have savings not being higher the second I wasn't working. It's amazing how much time there is in the day. Now, to be even, I'm glad I didn't have a salaried job before now. I experienced a lot of life so far, and now I'm excited for the responsible chapter bonus for 10k upvotes. Wake up before you have to. Weather has been warming up, and I've started to jog outside in the morning. And you know what? It's ducking beautiful to be out seeing the sunrise every day. The city is mine. And I realize how much I appreciate that me time every day. Bonus for gold. Thanks for the gold. First ever. Get rid of that stuff you don't use, wear and organize. Being able to find what I'm looking for quickly is 100% better than having useless crap. That shitty feeling of anger/frustration every morning, it literally disappears. RIP inbox in the best way. Go out and take life by the horns. Just doing the ducking dishes, it's amazing how much welcoming your home feels when the sink is empty. Plus if you wash the dishes right away, all the food hasn't dried on and it's much easier to clean them. Win-win. Eating healthier. I think people don't realize how much energy is in food. I looked at the nutritional information for the donut I grabbed today. Was going to cost me 5 extra miles on the treadmill. Nearly chucked that thing across the room. You can eat the donut as long as you account for it in your TDEE. Like, if the donut has 360 calories and you are going to have a 700 calorie lunch, then you eat only half your lunch. The problem comes when you eat the donut on top of your normal calorie input. This is one reason soda is so destructive. People don't realize how many calories they're drinking. It only takes one soda a day on top of TDEE to put on a pound every month. I wish I had stuck to literally any hobby since my early 20s. I've flitted about between all sorts and not getting good at anything. I think the biggest one was drawing. I drew so much as a teen. Sure, most of it was wonky anime, but I was starting to branch out into more Marvel DC style too. It made me happy to just draw whatever I felt like. But I stopped because my parents and teacher kept giving me shit for not doing proper art. Totally killed my motivation. And I didn't keep it up after I moved out, even without any formal teaching. Just imagine what 10-12 years of bumbling my own way through sketching could have got me. Oh well, I'm trying to pick it back up again now. I hope you get where you want to be with your drawings. The best thing with drawing is that everything is 100% up to you. You are in control of every aspect, and I love it. I'm gonna try to learn from your mistakes. I'll hold on to drawing as best I can. Open bracket. I am currently 14. Reddit is one of those rare places where a 14 years old can talk with a 30 years old without it seeming odd. That's cool. Swimming. A good few years ago, I lost over 125 pounds through dieting and going to the gym. For the past 2 years I have plateaued at around 210 pounds and just couldn't shift the last 20 pounds that I really need to. About a month ago I started swimming and it is doing so much more for me than the gym did. Maybe I just needed a change or something, but this is seriously working and I'm going to lose the rest by the end of 2019. Swimming is a wonderful thing for the body, very low impact cardio, helps with large muscle group development, even helps with your posture. I love it. It can help with posture to a point. It actually destroyed mine in high school because I swam for school and ended up with swimmer's shoulders. Basically my shoulders stayed really big. Even 8 years later and hunches me forwards a bit. Most of the other swimmers didn't get this, but a handful did and you could see their shoulders were much bigger. Not disproportionate, but certainly bigger. Appreciating that it's okay to stay at home if you enjoy indoor activities and staying at home. You don't have to go out all the time. Edit. The obligatory. My first gold. Thank you, kind stranger. I recently discovered this. 2. It's also a great way to save some money. I'm the opposite. I stay in because I have no money. Stopped smoking. I have asthma due to smoking now. Having asthma is way better than having an oxygen tank. Congrats on quitting, dude, it's tough to say the least. I know people who have oxygen tanks and still smoke. Learn how to learn. I never had to learn for school. I was smart enough to get through school without it. However, it came back hard when I went to college. How does one learn to learn? Got any recommended books, videos, articles? Thanks in advance. They have a course for this. One of the popular ones. Learning how to learn. Playing an instrument. I started playing guitar 3 years ago at 47. It's a ton of fun with as more challenges than you can set for yourself in 3 lifetimes. If I'd even started at 30 I'd have 20 years of experience now. But, honestly, your head has to be in the right spot. And before my 40s I don't think mine was. I took piano as a child, forced by parents, and was in band in middle high school. By choice, but never put in the hours of practice. It's only been lately that I wanted to put in the time to learn. And I'm old enough to know how my mind works and adapt lessons so that I get the most out of my time. This, when you're 6 years old, having your parents plunk you in front of a piano or whatever and demand, okay, now practice on this thing at least an hour a day, and do the same dull crap again and again until next week, doesn't make it an activity. It just makes it another chore. And funny thing, most kids don't like the chores they have as it is. Getting up early and just doing what needs to be done in a day instead of putting it off forever. Update. I've been how I do this or how I got started. Honestly, I got started by getting up early for work. Slowly it became my new norm to get up at 7 AM on my days off. The getting things done part was trickier. I guess I started by doing small things like cleaning or doing errands right away. Like if I was washing clothes, I wouldn't let them sit in the dryer. I would take them out right away and hang them up. Eventually it just became a routine and part of my life. I'm sort of getting there. It's a process. Lately I've been getting up at 6 just to procrastinate and read it more. But the sunrises have been really cool to see. Quitting my old job to find something better. I'm a person of habit and I stayed there because it was stable and I was afraid of losing that if I tried to find another job. I dropped an application at another company with my years of experience listed right on the front. My phone blew up the next day. They wanted to hire me on the spot. Offered me double what I was currently making. I nearly had a heart attack. It's been almost a year now and I couldn't be happier. Edit. For those that are wondering what I do, I'm an automotive repair. I worked 15 years for a small business. It paid well, but the mental stress, that's a nice way of putting it, and lack of appreciation for the consistent quality I produced was what pushed me over the edge. I applied at a major company doing the same thing. They needed people with my knowledge and skill. One look at my resume and were instantly impressed. Now I work with good people, have good benefits, and no longer have to count my pennies. It's a great feeling. Edit 2. Thank you, kind Redditor, for the gold. Glad to hear it. I had an old co-worker call me last summer and ask if might be interested in a management job for a company that he contracted to. I barely met the listed requirements for experience, but felt like I had plateaued where I was and figured it couldn't hurt to try. I am 6 months into a much higher performance role, tons of responsibility, but I am thriving on the challenge and my boss has made no bones about appreciating my performance. But wow, did I feel like a fraud when I got to the interview. I was so stressed stepping out of my comfort zone, but so glad I did. Quit drinking. It's changed my life so much that it's crazy. I've lost 60 pounds. I have a job with a future. I moved to an amazing place where I ski all winter and mountain bike all summer. I actually have some people in my life that I care about and it's reciprocated. I'm genuinely happy for the first time in my adult life. Just hit 31 months without a drink. Edit. Thank you everyone for the support. I really appreciate it. Keep it going all of you who are going through a similar thing. It's worth it 100%. If any of you think you might need help, check out r/stop drinking. They're a very supportive and amazing community of people who are there to help. More edit. I should also probably add I was a raging alcoholic. It was something that was destroying my life and I finally hit rock bottom. I didn't do it alone. I had a tremendous amount of support and help. When I was broke, jobless, and about to be homeless, I finally was confronted about it. Fortunately, I have a great supportive family and they offered me a plane ticket to rehab that night. It was extremely difficult at first, but worth it. I'm looking forward to this. I'm at 86 days. Good for you. Hell yeah, man. Keep up the good work. Knowing that it's okay to be confused and scared. Everyone is confident. You keep your head down because they seem to know what they are doing. But then you realize it's all just pretense to avoid facing that same insecurity that you feel. Be honest with yourself. It's okay to not know stuff or be the best at stuff or not be sure where you want to be in life. It's okay. Edit. I would like to mention that I did not intend this as meaning nobody is good at their job or competency doesn't exist. People work very hard to achieve amazing things. But if you are uncertain about what you are doing, or maybe what you should be doing, that can be immensely scary. I just wanted to express that it is okay to not have all the answers. Edit again. Thank you to the kind strangers for the invaluable Reddit currency. May knowledge guide us and protect us. Skincare routine. Sunscreen. Nightly washing with a cleanser, not just a washcloth. Removing makeup, etc. r/skincare addiction set me down the right path. I'm 42 and don't look it at all. When I was 15 I saw an interview with Debbie Reynolds, I think, and she was luminous at the age of 70. She said that her secret to looking so young was due to wearing sunscreen every day, including in the winter. I took it to heart. I'm in my 30s. Started in my early 20s after I met an older co-worker who gave me the same advice. My sister is 7 years younger and in her 20s now. I get mistaken for the younger one of the two. Can't say I don't enjoy it. Taking care of my teeth. I was an idiot as a kid and teenager and didn't properly take care of them, which is something I regret so much. Having worked in the dental field, I saw a lot of oral issues that could have been avoided if people just took time to maintain their oral health. Brush and floss, people. It'll save you a lot of money and pain in the future. Would it be okay if I brushed and flossed myself instead? Taking literature and rhetoric more seriously. You might not use algebra or calculus every day like they told you in middle school. But I 100% do believe that learning how to effectively write down and speak about whatever you are talking about effectively is something we need to take more seriously. Edit. Rip my ducking inbox, but really though this is ducking rad. Edit. Also a big duckin' thank you to all the Eng Lit Lang educators out there. Yale duckin' rock. It's so jarring to encounter people who can't write a sentence. I expect all adults to be able to do it and I take it for granted. And I'm wrong. I legitimately got yelled at by my father once for using big words he didn't understand. The word was tense. When I told him that my muscles were tense. Telling people to duck off more. Being nice constantly will rot you from the inside. Some people can't understand that respect is earned. They need to be told to duck off more often to keep them grounded. I don't think you need to be rude, but definitely set boundaries. When you allow someone to walk over you, that is you teaching them how you allow people to treat you. Seeing a psychologist. Martial arts. I started about 2.5 years ago and I'm doing great. I always fantasize about starting as a child and being a master by now. I'm 24. Edit. For all of you stating you are not sure if you should start or are even scared, If you find a good gym you won't be hurt by anybody. A good master doesn't force you to anything. When I first started it felt weird to even touch other people. Now I'm one of the best at the gym. If you first are at a shitty gym go to another one. If you're at a good gym and you don't like the sport just don't continue. Nothing will be lost because of that. Just try, you have nothing to lose is what I'm trying to say. D. Spending money on experiences rather than possessions. When my ex and I found out that we had infertility issues, we decided that our therapy would be spending our time and resources doing things that our friends who were parents constantly lamented missing out on. We spent the next 3 years traveling the world, visited 9 countries, 30 states, swam with dolphins, hiked rainforests and just overall took in as much of life as we could. I wouldn't change a thing, except that whole ex part. Running always used to make me get horribly out of breath and a painful stitch in my side after just a minute or so, and I figured I could just never do it. I don't know how I had over a decade of pay in school and no one ever thought to teach proper breathing technique. Finally in my 30s I learned to do it right, and in a couple years I go from not being able to run for longer than a minute at a time to doing a half marathon. Don't get me wrong, I'm not great at it and my times to complete are embarrassingly slow, but it's a huge improvement over where I used to be and something I honestly couldn't have imagined I was capable of doing. My times to complete are embarrassingly slow, lapping everyone on the couch. Open bracket. Source. Am on couch when you're running. Waking up early. Like really early. No, like Business Insider video about CEOs early. I thought early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise was just some shit my parents used to get my lazy ass out of bed. Turns out that getting up at 5 AM and making the duck out of your bed before you go anywhere sets up your day with military levels of commitment. I was finally able to actually exercise on a regular basis and not hate it. I got promoted at my job and bought a house. I just got married and I'm about to have a kid. Start small. Make every day a challenge for yourself. Interesting. I wake up at 4 AM 3 days a week for one job, and 5 AM the other 4 days for another job. It got old real quick, and it totally saps my energy. Even if I managed 8 full hours of sleep, to each their own, I suppose. I'm over 40 and I joined the volunteer fire department. I'm still able to keep up with the physical requirements of the job, and I love how effective the protective gear is. Everyone has to attend a recruit training camp which includes a lot of time in the burn building. If I had known firefighting was this awesome, I would have signed up right out of high school. I knew a kid who was dead set on being a fireman from age 4. He had toy fire trucks, a fireman outfit. His parents took him to open days at the local fire stations. He's now in his mid-20s and the happiest fireman ever. Mission accomplished. P. Moisturize. Kids, them wrinkles ain't gonna moisturize themselves. Stopped looking for a partner to fulfill my life. Fulfill your own life and there will plenty of options for partners. Right facing fist, left facing fist. Buying used cars, rather than leasing new ones. Just found out how cool using Reddit is. I'm sorry. Stopped giving a duck at work. I used to work and paid overtime. Carry a bunch of stress. Now I put in my 40. Do the work in front of me. And if they fire me I've got enough savings to tide me over until I'm employed again. Snowboarding. I have lived about 15-20 minutes away from a ski snowboard slip for almost 5 years. And I went skiing for the first time in 7 years and the day after snowboarding for the first time ever this winter. I really enjoyed it, but I did it towards the end of the winter, so I didn't have much time before the snow melted, comma. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.